Hello, everybody. My name is Andy Sikolovich, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Eastern Iowa Community College's collaboration with the Clinton Regional Development Corporation, where we interview individuals who are on the front line of COVID-19 response. Today's a little unique. In the past, you've seen us interview human resource professionals, professionals in education, but today we're interviewing communication professionals, specifically fiber. As we all are working home and remotely, maybe some of us are integrating back into the work centers, but a lot of us have done a tremendous amount of work at home. We rely on what? Internet, right? You can't have a Zoom meeting, you can't have a Microsoft Teams meeting without internet. So we're going to talk today about the importance of reliable broadband and fiber and connectivity and reliability of internet connections to your residents. As always, I'm joined by Chris Caves of Eastern Iowa Community College. Chris, what's happening?
Hey, Andy. I'm really glad to be on the call today. And it is so relevant, Andy, because I'm an Eastern Iowa employee, but I live across the river and make that commute every day. And during the COVID crisis, Andy, I'm living in Upper Rock Island County with no internet infrastructure. Yeah. So it led me to start doing some investigating and connecting with some local friends who have their own company here in Rapid City, Illinois. So I'm glad to be on the call today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've joked about this in the past, but Chris you're working off of a cellular hotspot from time to time. Then you got to go over to dear old mama's house to be able to access some internet that's reliable. So you've been battling this. But today we have with us Scott Searl. He is the managing partner of Strada Communications, joined by the other managing partner, Tim Baldwin. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so Scott, first question to you. Tell us a little bit about Strada Communications, why you started the company and why it's so important to serve not only the residential customers, but specifically those rural customers.
Well, Strada Communications is a locally owned and operated ISP. It's a high-speed fiber optic internet that we provide to our local community. Strada Communications is 100% owned and operated by myself and Tim. We're not running this business for somebody else and calling it local. We're not a franchise. We started this because we have lived our entire lives here. We graduated from Riverdale. Our children have graduated from Riverdale or are currently attending Riverdale. We wanted to do our part for our school district and our town that make up the school district. Because technology is growing every day, and many small towns and rural living people get left behind because of the ability to not utilize that technology. That's what we're trying to do is get everybody the access to high-speed internet.
Yeah. So Tim, this question's for you. COVID-19 hits, pandemic, work at home orders, people need high quality internet. What did your world look like from an entrepreneurial standpoint, owning Strada and getting out there and trying to increase your reach with fiber when everybody started working, from their desktops in their basements like I do, or from their home office?
Yeah, well, clearly that's critical. And, more than ever, we've, learned that we have such a undeveloped infrastructure in our rural community. Personally, I'm in an area that still doesn't have Strada's fiber, so it's working at home is definitely not an option for me off of a wireless connection that at best on a good day when there's not very many people using it, I've got about 2 megs of download speed. So although that's not where I'm sitting now, I actually happen to be in my office in Davenport, but having video conferencing, I'm a school board member. I am a township trustee, and for months we were hosting our meetings through Zoom, just like we're doing right now, and that was virtually impossible for me to do from home. So although many of my counterparts were able to sit at home and participate in those meetings, I would have to stay here at my office in Davenport where I had better, faster speeds to enable me to do that.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. I work a lot, obviously, with Chris, but other partners, both on the Illinois side of the river and the Iowa side, and it really kind of decreases or stiff arms productivity when you have a poor internet connection. And we have to look at that very closely moving forward as we start to develop our infrastructure plans, where the installation of those new lines are going to be, because you have a lot of people who may work in a larger metro, but live in a small rural community, and they're going to require adequate and available internet. So my next question for Scott. So what are the benefits of Strada Communications over other types of local providers that are out there?
Well, I guess first I'd like to say that the providers that we have done a great job in providing us a good service in the past to get to where we are today. However, those plants that they have deployed out there aren't designed for today's technology, and definitely not for tomorrow's technology. So the benefits that we provide are the ability for that subscriber to maximize the amount of bandwidth a subscriber is able to use, consistent speeds, faster upload and download, a more reliable internet connection, and the ability to use and enjoy all of today's technologies for tomorrow as well.
So I have one more question, and I'll direct this towards Tim, and then I'll kick it over to Chris to continue the interview. But what has your world been like since the pandemic? I mean, are the phones ringing off the hook? Do you see an increase in demand for your services? Every small business, which you guys are, you're only two people, right, been affected differently. So what's your, world been like since COVID?
Yeah, clearly the phone's been ringing off the hook. We've been putting it out there to the community that we'll have service soon for nearly 2 years now, and as soon as the word gets out and people are in the position that they are, and again, which was amplified with the stay-at-home orders, our social media, our email inbox, the phones ring off the hook. In some cases, with some people that are upset that we just can't get to them soon enough. So that's our challenge today is financing, just like with any small business, and manpower and enough hours in the day to get the job done.
Yeah, I am interested. I got one more follow-up question. So Tim or Scott, doesn't matter. So what are you guys doing as the demand increases, and that being only two of you, kind of what are your plans moving forward? I'm interested as far as growing your workforce.
I mean, we have a plan that we've developed to, as we move forward. We do have a workforce that here at Strada, we have our head-end technicians, we have our installers, we have a company that we contract with to do our building. But like Tim said, one of the biggest things is funding. So the way we're doing our infrastructure now, it's very expensive, and without the help of local, state, or federal grants, building must come in phases and of slow progress. So the only thing that we can do is just continue to ask for continued support and patience as we do continue to build out, and we're doing the best that we can without being one of those chosen for a grant.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Chris, I'll punt it over to you for some additional questions.
So thanks, Andy. I just want to ask, both gentlemen are neighbors of mine out here in the Port Byron area. And I wanted, Scott, you and I, before the call, we were talking a little bit about what is the benefit of community members doing business locally? What would that mean for Strada? And what is the benefit to the customer in terms of customer service or attention to them? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so our customer service, we feel, for a local owned company, I think you'll get the same thing everywhere. When you have a local owned company providing you a service, they care about the members of their community, more so than if you have that internet giant that moves in. You lose that personal touch that you have with utilizing a local company. We're here for you day and night to help you if you do experience problems, if you can't remember how to stream TV, if you can't remember how to do certain things on the internet. We're always a phone call away. We're always right there. for our members, and even down to our employees. I would say 95% of our employees are all from within our community. We went to school with them, or our kids went to school with them. And even employing our summertime help as high school kids that are off for the summer. We employ them as well. So we really try to keep a sense of community in the entire aspect of our business.
That's an awesome answer. Hey, Tim, I've got another question for you.
Sure.
So we're all partners in this work, right? And the timing is right in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We want to take action. We want to capitalize on this disruption to our communities, to our students' learning, and all in our businesses. But Tim, how can we get our neighbors and get our constituents and build people in our network and help us promote this cause? In Illinois or Iowa, there's local providers on both sides of the river. The issue is not in one state or the other, Tim. The issue is regional. So how do our local community and how do our citizens help promote this issue, and by that effect, promote local providers like Strada?
Yeah, I think, well, like Scott said, you have like this extra level of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but when you're dealing with your friends and your neighbors, I mean, let's face it, we're in a small community, so we kind of know everybody, and you just can't let people like that down. And I think people start to realize that. Now, interestingly enough, not everybody in our community even knows Strada Communications exists. And so there is a need for us to get out and do a better job getting all of our friends and neighbors to understand that this service exists in their area. And as we continue to build out, we'll soon have service to their front door. And that goes for both sides of the river. Now, we're talking about a variety of ideas on how we might promote this through ambassadors, existing customers that can act as ambassadors to help spread that word, and a real community movement to make everyone aware of what we have to offer and the benefits that it can bring to them and their community. And although there are other locally owned service providers, there's none that are as hyper locally owned and servicing as we are. We have competitors all around us, but we're the only guys in Rapid City, Port Byron, Hillsdale, surrounding area. And also, if we hopped across the river to LeClaire, we would be the only, again, hyper local, literally can, throw a rock across the river and hit some of those customers. And like Scott pointed out, we're committed to these communities. We live here and work here and raise our kids here and all those kinds of things. And this is where our life exists, friends, family, and all those types of things. So it's sometimes an uphill battle, but it's one that we need to fight to continue to grow this business and deliver the kind of products and services to people that they need, not only during these tough times, but just going forward. I mean, the need for this type of technology and the speed and the bandwidth is not going to get less as our homes and our lives continue to require technology on a deeper and deeper level. The need for this technology and bandwidth is only going to continue to increase. And at one point we were worried about our kids and their ability to game, and now we see the real world impact of having to shift our work environment to our homes and realize how much how much bandwidth and speed we actually use when we're in our offices, and it's necessary to have that at home now.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, I'm trying to multitask here, look up a few things, but I did see an article that came out, and it said in 2019, the number of active devices that required internet activity was 26.66 billion. So that's insane, right? And that's a national thing. And this was 2019, obviously pre-COVID, right? So we're moving into an age where, like you said, the demand is going to continue to grow. And one of the industries that I work with very closely, where the increase in demand and really the advancements of technology is massive, is farming. Farming is becoming a tech-based industry. And not only are farmers having to learn new technologies, but they're requiring and they're demanding available internet and constant connectivity. So it's important that you support companies like Strada because they're the ones reaching out to the rural customers. And unless the business case is rock solid, some of the bigger entities want nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about that. I mean, the cost, and we have these conversations internally. And again, because we're, maybe it's not the best business decision to be so committed to our community, because when you look at the numbers, it costs us significantly more per home to run fiber internet to a home in Port Byron or Rapid City or the surrounding area than it would if we just took a beeline to Silvis or East Moline and could start tackling homes that are stacked on top of each other. So where it might cost us, thousands, multiples of thousands per home in our community, we may be able to do that for, hundreds or less than 1,000 for each home in a more dense community. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The larger companies that are, focusing their attention on the large markets right now, they're not likely to ever come into a market like ours because they just can't justify the cost.
Yeah. I mean, we've had conversations in the past where I say company A is located here, directly across the street is company B. Company B has access to fiber, company A doesn't. And that just blows my mind. I mean, how's that possible, right? And then you approach some of these companies and they want an exorbitant amount of money to run a line, less than 100 yards. So again, I don't know how it all works. I'm glad you guys are doing it and taking it over. Chris, do you have any questions regarding workforce as Strada continues to grow? What kind of skill sets may they be looking for?
Well, that's exciting. I mean, the skill sets that they demand are everything from your skilled trade skill set, certainly your data and your analytics skill set. I know they need IT for sure, and customer service support. I mean, there's a lot of leadership opportunity in this line of work, Andy. There's a lot of potential for workforce development, and I think that they're a shining star, especially in this conversation today. I just got to say, this issue is a regional issue, and if we are going to advance our region, we've got to make sure all citizens are connected, right? And that's citizens who are students, citizens who are adults, and business owners. If one area is at a deficit, Andy, it's a chink in our armor as a region, and it's unacceptable. So that's my soapbox today, and I'm just happy to have these guys on the show.
Hey, jump on the soapbox. That's what technology is for, right? It's giving everybody a voice. That's why I geek out over the internet, right? You don't have to be a top-tier reporter at Chicago Tribune anymore. You can be somebody with an effective and inspirational and influential blog. I think that stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
I just hope people watching today will share this video with their people in their network that can actually have some influence around this discussion, no matter what side of the river you're on. Share it with people who you think can actually throw their weight behind this issue and make improvements.
Absolutely. Scott, do you have any closing remarks before we close the show out?
No, not too much, but yeah, I'd like to reiterate on that is you have the same type of people, the same small children, the same small businesses, the same owners that live in the city as you do in our small towns and our rural surrounding area. So don't forget about us. We all need good internet. We all need good, reliable internet.
Absolutely. Tim?
No, I'm good. Appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you guys today and help get the word out. And anything we can do to help get our message across to those that maybe don't know we exist yet and know that we're coming. It's a step-by-step process.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. We're talking to Scott and Tim Baldwin, both managing partners at Strada Communications. Check them out online at Strada, that's STRADA.com, for information regarding their services and their internet plans. I'm loving some of the pricing that I'm seeing, so kudos to you guys for making it affordable. Chris, do you have anything else before we end the show?
Nope, just a great conversation today, Andy. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, everybody. This has been another production of Eastern Iowa Community College and the Clinton Regional Development Corporation. Collaboration, bringing you information that's important in the COVID-19 world, as well as post-pandemic, when hopefully we can all get back to normal soon, because I need me some live music. I tell you what, I love it. My wife's been in a band for 13 years, and I just want to go see her play. So it's exciting stuff. If you guys have any questions, you can check me out at clintondevelopment.com. My email address is on there. Shoot me an email. Give me a ring. I'd love to talk to you. Until then, we'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.